So on problem number 5, we have 2 times the square root of 3 times m times n squared all over the square root of 6 times m to the 4th times n to the 4th. Now, one of the properties of this is I could take the 2 in the front and put everything over a square root like this. I could say 3m n squared all over 6. Whoops, I don't know what I'm doing here. 6m to the 4th n to the 4th. And we could simplify the fraction. Okay? So to simplify the fraction, remember that this is m to the 1st. Well, what does 3 over 6 reduce down to, guys? 3/6 is the same as what? No. You divide this by 3 and you divide this by 3, what do you get? That reduces down to 1 over 2, doesn't it? Now, I'm going to have this m, this 1m is going to cancel with one of these m's on the bottom. And these 2 n's on the top will cancel with 2 of these n's on the bottom. So on my next line, I'm going to get 2 square root 1/2 m to the 0 just becomes 1, n to the 0 just becomes 1, and then on the bottom here I've got m to the 3rd n to the 2. I know you guys are writing that down, but I want to give you a second to kind of process and look and see what I'm doing here. Did I write everything down correctly? Yeah, I did. All right, so then what I could do is there's a couple of ways to do this, but I should probably separate all these. So then on my next step, I'm going to say 2 times the square root of 1 times the square root of 2 times the square root of m cubed times the square root of n. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this becomes 1. So on the top, I'm going to get a 2 on the top, because 2 times 1, because the square root of 1 is just 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Then on the bottom, I've got some cleaning up to do. Remember that m to the 3rd power is the same as m squared times m to the 1st. So some things I can simplify, some things I can't. So this still remains the square root of 2. Okay? This will change to m squared times m. Now, what is the square root of n squared? Remember, this is the second root, so this cancels with this, and this just becomes n. All right. Next line, I'm running out of space here. Next line, I'm going to have 2 over root 2. And then this becomes m times the square root of m over n. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit, and I'm going to combine this. I'm going to put the square roots 2 and m under one square root, and then I'm just left with mn. Now remember, we can't have a square root in the denominator. We just can't. So we have to rationalize the denominator. We're going to multiply the bottom by square root of 2m, and then multiply the top by the square root of 2m. Now here's the tricky part about that. On the top, thank you. Okay. On the top, when I multiply that out, I'm just going to get 2 root 2m. On the bottom, when I take this times this, they square, and I'm just left with 2m. And then I have another m, right? This m and this n. So I say m and n. All right? Well, okay, this cleans up pretty nice, actually. 2 divided by 2 is just 1. M times m is m squared. So my final answer is the square root of 2m times all over m times m, which is m squared times n, right? Because this is 1 and 1. 2 divided by 2 is the same as 1 over 1. So now I'll be honest with you, this problem is way harder than the one that's on the actual test, but I figure if you can kind of follow all these different rules, then when you do the one that's on the test, it'll be a lot easier. So, okay, make sure you understand how to do this question. It's always good to get like me drinking coffee in the video.